He was a former UFC champion heavyweight. That's good. He did a great job. I respect that. But like a person, no. So of course, yeah, bad blood for that. Because I can't let anyone judge me or treat me like a piece of shit, and he did. So that's why.
Frank, obviously a lot of kind of bad blood over here. A lot of bad blood going on here, but the mental stuff, sometimes you see it backfire when you get a guy too fired up. Do you have the head games been kind of on purpose for this fight?
I don't do anything by chance. I think I try to think and put a lot of forethought in anything that I say. I try to be as calculated as possible. As far as it backfiring, no. I think for my style of fight, the most difficult fight for me is a person who backs up and jabs. And Cheikhon was taller than I am, and he has a longer reach. If he were to move backwards, it would make it very hard for me to take him down. That's just basic MMA 101. If he's coming forward, it makes it easier to clinch and to acquire takedowns. Obviously, there's no secret between how we want to fight each other. I do feel confident about my stand-up, but he's better. He's good at stand-up. Why take the chance there? Feel more confident that there's a less of a chance of him choking me out than knocking me out. So I want to get the fight to the ground. So hence, anything I say that fires him up, the better for me.
And also, because Dana talked about, you obviously had a lot of bad blood with Brock Lesnar. Still got a lot of focus on getting back to Brock Lesnar. Is there a chance that the distraction, or is your focus on solely on Czech and obviously to get back to Brock Lesnar?
Yeah, it's funny. My camp and my wife in particular were very worried about that because self-admittedly, I am kind of obsessed with the Brock fight. But the advantage of being a somewhat intelligent person, I realized that if I am not successful on Saturday, any chances of me having a fight with Brock are pretty much a foregone conclusion. So first and foremost, I have to have a fight against Czech and be very dominant in the fight. Even a close win decision really doesn't move me up that high up on the ladder. When you have a Shane Carwin and Cain Velasquez already out there who are pretty much at the top of the food heap right now when Brock is able to come back and be healthy.
Frankmir's father, Frank Sr., lifelong martial artist himself, has come back into the fighting life of Frank. I guess, Joe, this is the night of camp changes and guys looking for new avenues to improve. Frankmir was with Ken Hahn for a long time. He left Striking Unlimited, and as I said, his father, along with Jimmy Gifford and some of the members of Mark Delagrati's team, have really helped to sharpen the striking of Frankmir.
Well, I think the loss to Brock Lesnar has really awakened the beast inside of Frankmir. We saw in the countdown show, the strength and conditioning program of Frankmir, the first one he's ever undergone. And you see the gains that he's making. 265 pounds now with low body fat. He looks huge. And that's what he's going to need for the big boys in this division. His grappling has always been tremendous, and we've seen his striking improve, of course, with the Nogueira stoppage. He looked outstanding on his feet in that fight.
Frankmir said for the first time he has separated his strength and conditioning from the rest of his workouts. Stepping in to the Harley-Davidson prep point, Frank said before, I'd hit the pads and I'd work some cardio after, maybe do some abs, some light lifting. Now, though, there's strength and conditioning separate from his grappling, separate from his striking practice.
Well, at the elite level of the sport, you have to do everything in order to compete. There's just no shortcuts. There's no ways around it. You see that man behind him, Robert Drysdale, top-notch jiu-jitsu instructor, working with him on his jiu-jitsu and his ground game. Frank's sporting some new ink on his back.
His boxing coach, Jimmy Gifford. Jimmy Gifford told me Frank's going to look for some head movement early, but first opportunity, make no mistake, Frankmir's going to look to take this fight to the ground.
He's got some serious new tattoos on his back.
Win or lose, Mir's fights, at least historically, Joe, have never lasted too long. Only one of his 16 career bouts has made it past the second round. of his 13 UFC fights, the average length is just 4 minutes and 4 seconds.
Well, Frank is one of the rare large men that is really good off of his back. And the reason why he's so good off of his back is because he's a very intelligent guy. He knows that he's bigger than most guys, and he can put most guys on their back. But what happens when a guy puts him on his back? Well, he became deadly from his guard. He's a very tactical guy.
Frank Mir has earned more wins by submission than any heavyweight in UFC history.
You can really see in his physique, Mike,
Yeah.
all the dense muscle that he's put on throughout his back and shoulders. The real question is, will that slow him down? Will that take away at all from his conditioning? I don't think it will because of the way he put it on and what he did to put it on. He went through a program, a strength and conditioning program, not just lifted weights, but tried to build up his muscular endurance in the process.
And trust me, while not look past tonight's opponent, Czech Congo, the reason he's putting on that muscle is because his fight life right now is all about revenge, all about another battle against UFC heavyweight champion Brock Lesnar. Our tale of the tape for this heavyweight collision is brought to you by the only motorcycles worthy of being in the octagon, Harley-Davidson, 30-year-old American, 34-year-old Frenchman, 6'4", 6'3", about the same. And now look how much bigger Mir is going to be than Congo, who weighed in officially yesterday, 239. He will have a 3-inch reach advantage. With our official introductions, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. Brought to you by Tap Out, an expression of combat known worldwide, now available at tapout.com. And StubHub, the world's largest ticket marketplace and the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the UFC. And now, 3 rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a freestyle fighter holding a professional record of 24 wins, 5 losses, 1 draw. Standing 6 feet 4 inches tall, he weighed in at 239 pounds. Fighting out of Paris, France, Czech Congo. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. This man is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter holding a professional record of 12 wins, 4 losses. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 264 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, ladies and gentlemen, he is the former UFC heavyweight champion, Frankmir. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the octagon is Herb Dean.
All right, gentlemen, we've gone over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We're going to keep it clean. Touch gloves, make it official.
No touching of the gloves.
That's a proper stare down, which we did not see at the weigh-ins yesterday.
Yeah, Czech Congo didn't even want to look at him in the weigh-ins.
Mir, Congo. Heavyweight battle. UFC 107, FedEx Forum, Memphis, Tennessee.
What's interesting in this fight, Mike, is that Mir said that he's not averse to standing up with Czech Congo.
Fight clock brought to you by Tap Out Joe, sorry.
He feels that he is a better boxer. He thinks Czech Congo has some good kicks, but he feels that he's a better boxer than Czech Congo.
Southpaw Frank Mir. We really saw him start to display his stand-up skills in that fight against Minotauro Nogueira. Black and white trunks for Mir. Congo in the red trunks.
Congo has a vicious right hand.
And some wicked kicks as well. But the kick could make him susceptible to the takedown, so it'll be interesting to see if he goes that way. As I said, Jimmy Gifford said, watch for Frank Mir to utilize a lot of head movement early. Try to get inside and... Big left hand!
This is it.